Hey everybody, how do you know when you have good exhaust? When you start your car and it does that. Hey everybody, it's a beautiful sunny day here. Spring is on and it's actually Hiro's birthday. I'm not sure exactly what the day was. It's probably on my warranty because my warranty ends this week. And what do you do when your car's warranty is up, especially if you have an FRS? You start shopping for mods. So it's time to think about anything that I would have done that would have maybe messed with my warranty. So I have a pretty short list, and I've done a lot of, looking into different people who have boosted their cars and, done swaps and all these different things with the engines. And by far the most reliable and probably the most readily available supercharger is the Jackson Racing Kit. And for those of you who know, this is the automatic with the paddle shift. And they actually do the supercharger kit for either version of the car. It's a pretty good investment. Depending on how you set it up, it's $4,000 to $5,000. So let's call that a long-term goal. But in the meantime, kind of in my brain, what I like to think is, watching these guys on some of the YouTube channels that have done this and have, modded their cars out and done some giant supercharger kits and turbos, and then pretty much, had an unmanageable car. Really what I'm looking at with that supercharger kit is trying to hit like a 300 horsepower number, which seems pretty reasonable with those guys. And probably the more noticeable jump, but don't mind my computer talking here. The more noticeable jump is in the torque. It'll take the torque in this car is around 150. We'll actually take it up just over 200. So that's a pretty noticeable difference. That's over 30%, and there's nothing else you can do to a car to pick up 30% torque. But yeah, so the people have done that and had some challenges after, let's say that, to be nice. What I'd really like to do is start setting things up so that so the car's ready for it, honestly. And I've got a pretty short list. I've talked about the wheels before. I'm looking for an 18-inch wheel, go a little bit wider on the rubber. And because I love this car and I love the Toyota setup, I really like those black 5-spoke Toyota TRD wheels. And so we're gonna look at that setup with the Michelin Cups, and at the same time start looking at the brakes. There's so many different brake options out there, but again, as much as I can, I'd like to stick to the Toyota line and try to do everything I can do with TRD. There is a big brake kit from TRD, and so I'm actually on my way to my local dealer here at South Point to go chat with my friends in the parts department and see what we can come up with. So those are kind of the first two hits, and then the last thing will be, with the suspension. Really, there's been so many great vlogs and tips on, do you have an adjustable ride? Those self-adjusting dampers, maybe they don't always work. But as you add more power and more cornering, it's debatable in this car if it's necessary, but watching the guys on the track, so these guys who really are ripping these cars, it's a must. So that's a short list, but a good place to start. So Happy birthday, Hiro. Check this out. Hey everybody, just pulling into South Point Toyota. Check this out. Hachiroku. Carbon hood. Pretty cool. I think I need that strip on my windshield too. Alright, just hitting the freeway. Here's the update on the TRD upgrades from Toyota. So number one, the big brake kit. If you shop around, the big brake kit for the TRD is for the FRS TRD kit is still available on Amazon, and you can find it in different places. It's about $1,500, so full set with pads. It's about that's about right for Toyota. The trouble is Toyota's been out of stock for over a year, so that could get interesting trying to find those. But my friends at South Point are going to try to see if they can track one down. The other one, it's getting through traffic here, is the TRD wheel. And so, there's so many wheel options, and I know everyone's going to come out and say, oh, you should just make 6 wheels, or I really like the idea of having the TRD wheel and just having the Toyota. So the TRD wheels, they're only about $300, which is pretty par for Wheel World, and readily available. They've even got some set up on some cars. Alright, so here's the question. So the wheels, coming from the factory, they've got them set up with staggered front and rear rubber. They've got a Michelin cups on them, and they're a 225 on the back and a 215 on the front, which is pretty reasonable sized tire, especially considering the factory power on this car. But in the meantime, and I'll drop a photo of this, they also have another car there set up with a 245 on the back, and it just looks sick. It looks like it's stanced, and I think I'll go back to the guys and see just how wide I can go on the tire, and within reason. The other thing is looking at the guys like Speed Academy who've set these cars up to race. They're getting a lot more grip and a lot more power turning in, so some faster track times by going square on the tires and going wide on the front as well. So looking at that setup that they have from the factory with a 225, my thought is to go 225 all around. So if anyone has any thoughts on that, let me know. And that's it for today's adventure. Just gonna get out on the highway before I pick up some kids. Talk to you soon. One more thing, the installed price. So just while I'm on getting some work done, if you haven't seen me doing any work on the car, that's because I don't, honestly. I'm not a mechanic. When I was younger, working on my Austin Healey's and the little sports cars, yeah, me and my dad just take all kinds of stuff apart. Even built carburetors with parts from tin cans, and did some spot welding. But yeah, those days are over. I have no problem buying parts and getting people to put them on for me. The one thing not to forget when you're pricing these things out, especially you young guys, if you're thinking, hey, new wheels, $1,200. Doesn't work that way. If you want to run sensors for your air in your tires, just like we have from the factory, look at adding another $300. When you're adding up your prices for your tires, definitely one area where you should shop around. we're pricing out Michelin's, you know, on an 18-inch wheel, you know, like I was saying with the 225, running, you know, around 2.25. So you're close to $1,000 for a set of tires. There's all kinds of deals right now. I know one of the ads I've seen recently has been buy 3, get 1 free. You guys know the deals. So definitely shop around. The other thing in Canada is there's you know, some transport controls where, you know, everything must be stickered, you know, all those silly things. So all in with you know, $1,200 worth of wheels and $900 worth of tires, you're thinking you're at 21. By the time we put in taxes, we put in, you know, if I'm going to put in pressure sensors, we're looking at close to $3,000. So, you know, do the math. And that's all for now. Made an appointment to get my old skinny summer tires put back on Monday, so looking forward to that. That'll be a blast. It's still pretty cold here in the morning, so, you know, when it's close to freezing and you got that primacy tire on, we're gonna get some action. We're gonna do some spinning. But that's all for now, and we'll let you know how it goes. Definitely do a video next week with the summer tires back on. Man, how long has it been? It's been 5 months of winter tires. Can you believe that? Time to get back to reality. Everyone have a great day. Talk to you soon.